little trick, clean the lens, and you've instantly got a clearer picture. Well, when I saw, I've got a bit of the COVID weeping, dropping everyone into breakout here. Hi. Good morning and welcome to everybody on the Be Video Confidence Show. We're live again for 2023. I'm Yola and this is my guest, Amanda Cole, hypnotherapy and wellbeing. So welcome to the show.
Hi, Jola.
This is a show where I talk with businesses about the video strategies, how they raise the visibility of the organization, and also how to deliver powerful content. With the Be Video Confident course, I'm working with people to unlock the world of video for business and to give you the mindset, skills, and confidence to make and present great, effective videos for your business. So, Amanda, this morning we met on Instagram.
We did indeed.
And it's really great because I love the work that you do on Instagram. It's full of joy. You do great videos. I mean, do you enjoy doing them?
I do. It wasn't always like that. I didn't always enjoy being visible in a way, being on screen and being seen. But I think when you're a small business and a sole trader, you have to be the face of your business. And I had to accept that and overcome some limiting beliefs, as it were, about myself. To basically be able to project on screen and give people, all the helpful content and information and tips and hints that I do on Instagram and on my online courses. So yeah, I've grown to enjoy doing it and grown to not be so nervous about the lives and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely been a learning curve.
Oh, I really enjoy your lives. I was watching for a few nights this week and last week, and I just really like the fact that you're so generous. And it's inspirational because I myself, I had to get over complete fear of being on camera, and then watching you. And I'm like, wow, this is great. I could try that myself. I could do it too. And that's what I really like about your content. It feels very natural and very relatable.
Yeah. I do. I try to make it as relatable as possible. I predominantly work with women and women with young kids as well. So it's just drawing on my own experiences and trying to get them to have some belief in themselves and confidence. And it's difficult sometimes to think of yourself as being inspirational to other people, but I hope that I am in some way.
Yeah, definitely. So you are a trained specialist in hypnotherapy and hypnobirthing. And this is what's really interesting is we can access you online or local support if you're like Worthing and Brighton area. Um, and again, this feels really great because I've done courses, you do amazing courses, and you're the creator of the Self-Belief Masterclass and the Mums Empowerment Program, which are both online. I call them courses, but you always sort of distinguish between courses and support.
Yeah. It's
Program.
support, it's guidance, it's program. Yeah.
And you also do the Hypno series of videos as well as the women. You're a women's self-belief mentor.
Yeah. So the Hypno series is actually on TikTok. So I took the plunge maybe sort of 6 months ago and joined TikTok. Everybody was there. So I just wanted to do something different rather than stuff like reels on Instagram, and tried to kind of separate them a little bit. So the Hypno series was born, and it's basically a series of videos, and it's guided hypnotherapy, but in 7 minutes. Because who's got time to sit and do a guided hypnotherapy for an hour and a half in the middle of the day? So I tried to make it as accessible and easy for people to get on board with doing guided hypnotherapy. And the first one I did was releasing anxiety, which was really popular and got lots of saves, so that's good.
Oh wow! So you just put it out there on TikTok.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's TikTok is really exciting because it is different from Instagram. and it's another vehicle, and a lot of people are out there.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. Seems to be more and more people going on to TikTok. So yeah, it's steadily building. That side of the business for me at the moment.
And do you edit your own videos? What's the process that you do to get it
Yeah.
onto TikTok?
Yeah, I do. In all honesty, it's completely untechy. I'm not the most technical person, to be honest. At the moment, I'd love to be able to have like a really professional setup and lighting and cameras, but I literally just do it on my iPhone. I just film everything on my iPhone. I've got 2 apps that I use to help me edit it. Yeah, kind of, make it a bit brighter if I need to. It's really simplistic. And basically it's those that then go up onto, my website or within the course resources or yeah, social media. It's super simple.
Fantastic. In fact, we've got Lindsay here, Lindsay Rowley. Brilliant. So, it is brilliant that you can use a smartphone in this way
Yeah,
and connect with people. And
exactly.
do you think you can really hypnotize someone online?
Online. Um, yes, because effectively we say hypnotize, but it's just getting to that person to be in a super relaxed state. So I found, especially doing things on Zoom, people are going to be in their own homes, and even more so, even the first session, if you have it in person, they're always going to be just a little bit resistant. They're somewhere new, they're not totally 100% comfortable, and trying to get them into that relaxed state, in a relatively short space of time, build that rapport. It's it can sometimes be more difficult. Whereas doing it on Zoom, they're in their own home, they're laying on their own sofa or bed or wherever, and they're looking at a screen that they're used to looking at. And realistically, they don't need to see me. They just need to listen to my voice, listen to the, suggestions that I'm making. So yeah, it's been really very successful being able to do it. And it just means that it's opened my business up.
Fantastic. Well, I've got some questions for you here.
Okay.
So here we go. Question number 1. Oh, there we go. Self-belief masterclass. It's got video resources and weekly on Zoom to support that.
Yeah.
And that's where you're discussing the self-belief topic.
Yeah.
So how successful has this combination of online and video been?
It has, because, as I say, it's completely opened up my business. I'm sure it has for so many other people, especially for small businesses and people within coaching. And, hypnotherapy is a form of talk therapy. So, again, we don't necessarily have to see each other as long as we can hear, but it's about building that rapport with your clients as well, and being able to run the self-belief masterclass, and have all those resources online that the people then have for life. And have the videos of me. So they have like this weekly touch point with me live on Zoom. So, we talk about our own experiences. We talk about the topics of trying to, help you increase your self-belief. And it does make so much difference, because you can reach so many other people. And then the people that are on the masterclass as well, they can then reach each other. We're all there on the sort of gallery view of Zoom and being able to see and talk to each other. So, who you may not have met. I mean, there's people from all around the country that I get to meet on a weekly basis. And it does make so much difference. And it just means it's really successful.
Oh, fantastic. And I heard you on one of your lives on Instagram talking about it, that quite often you're reaching out to women who don't have much time. So
Yeah.
how's that affected the way you've structured the class?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I know a great deal about. I'm a mum myself to two very small kids, and yeah, you just generally don't have hardly any time. And mums especially, we put ourselves to the bottom of the priority list. So the way that I've structured the Mums Empowerment Program initially was just to make it completely easy to fit into the day and accessible. So the entire program just consists of really short, like 2 videos a week that are less than 5 minutes, which gives you hints and tips on how to reduce your overwhelm and stress and anxiety, mum guilt, things like that. And then the audios as well that they can listen to. And again, short, impactful audios, because we don't have time to sit and do loads and loads of self-development exercises and, you know, too much thinking about it. And the audios are designed for you to listen to when you're nodding off, you know, and thankfully your kids are in bed and things like that. And the videos you can watch on the go, you know, whilst you're in Sainsbury's, whilst you're cooking the dinner, or, you know, on the school run, you can just be listening to it. So it's made such a huge difference to be able to reach so many people in this way, because people are used to being on screen, people are used to watching videos, and, you know, so many people are visual anyway. And I think, you know, the explosion of TikTok, like we've just said, you know, it means people are more inclined to be happy just to sit and watch a short video, much more so than reading scrolls of writing and, you know, actually doing a lot of things. They can just watch and listen and take it in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm neurodiverse, and I find that, you know, when you read books, self-help books, which are
Mm.
great, but then they have the quiz I've got to fill in, and I actually find that a point of anxiety. I
Mm.
kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, it's like, of course I know how to write, and I know how to, you know, write things, but after kind of all this kind of visualizing what I'm meant to be visualizing, to then do a written exercise, I kind of feel resistant to it.
Mm.
So I have used you know, the kind of resources what we're talking about right now, and I have found them really, really helpful. I like to use them kind of before going to sleep,
Yeah.
just in that time, you know, where everything's buzzing around and my anxiety gets more
Mm.
intense, kind of things, the house is quieting down.
Mm.
And do you find people who do that as well? Use it in the evening or
Yeah,
asleep?
definitely. Yes, yeah, because I mean, we always say the subconscious is always listening, and, you know, and that's what we're working with in hypnotherapy. So whether you're awake, whether you're asleep, yes, the hypnotherapy and even meditations and calming relaxation audios, anything like that, they're going to be working just as well, if not slightly better, actually, just because your brain has switched into a different brain wave, you know, just a slower, quieter, which is then more susceptible to taking on board all of the stuff you're hearing. So yeah, I definitely in my programs encourage, you know, women to listen to them at that late stage of the evening when they're going to bed, nodding off. I do it numerous times and I end up losing my little earpods in the bed when I'm nodded off somewhere.
It's just, well, it's better than getting strangled by your
Yeah,
by the cable.
that's it's better losing them than waking up with around your neck.
Except if you wake up, you're like, what is that in the back of my, you know,
Yeah,
back of my shoulder? Ow.
stuck to your cheek. It's
Yes. Really, really nice way to start the day with a big red indentation.
exactly.
It is really, really effective. And I've really benefited from it a lot.
Mm.
I used to travel before lockdown. I used to travel abroad to teach, and the whole process of, you know, you've got to teach. It's got to be set time. You're in a different country. You go different time zone. You're flying
Mm.
there. You get there. You get to the hotel, and you've got this big day tomorrow, and you've got to sleep. And I really find those, you know, listening to, I do it on my iPhone,
Mm.
just plug in. Actually, I just tuck it under my pillow and just listen to it. Really, really beneficial. And I
Yeah.
think you're right. You know, I fall asleep, but it still had a huge impact. So I think you're right. I think the brain carries on listening.
No, definitely. And actually, the last thing you listen to at night tends to be the first thing that then sets you up for the day, the next day. So if you're watching social media and you're looking at negative things, then you're going
Yeah.
to sleep. You're going to have potentially a less of a good quality sleep and then wake up the next morning feeling a bit off. Whereas if you're listening
Interesting.
to really positive, you know, positive suggestions, you know, helping you calm and release anxiety and things like that, then yeah, the following morning you're going to be feeling positive.
Wow, that is so interesting. Now, tell me about the structure of the Mums Empowerment Program, because that's different, isn't it?
Yeah, so yeah, actually no, what I just said. So it's the series of short under 5 minute videos, and that's just me talking very briefly about the particular topic that we run through, whether it be stress and anxiety, mum guilt, trying to increase your self-care, and then giving 5 or 6 just top tips to maybe implement during the week. Or we're trying to reduce overwhelm, so I suggest trying to just put one, maybe do one tip, to get the ball rolling, and then the audios. Yeah, that's literally it. But because everything is short and super impactful, people get the most benefit from it, and it can easily fit in to the day as well. Because I think a lot of the time we're running around, and suddenly it gets to the point where, oh God, I haven't got any time to do anything. And this is what the program is trying to do: reduce the overwhelm that mums especially sometimes feel.
So that's very different. That's 2, 3 different products that you have?
So mums empowerment and self-belief masterclass at the moment are the
Mhm.
two online products, and then obviously I do one-to-one hypnotherapy.
Wow. So with the mums master, that's specifically to talk to new mums or
Mums empowerment is for mums with kids of any ages, because I think newborns, toddlers, school age, and teenagers, they all have their own challenges, and your life within those years, they can be super overwhelming in different ways. I'm within the toddler and school era at the moment, and things do change, but it can still be just as hectic, just as overwhelming, just as stressful. So mum's empowerment is really for any mum with kids of any ages. Yeah.
wow. So do you find that people just stay with you through the different stages as the children grow up?
Yeah, potentially. It depends where people have come from. So sometimes people will come through Mum's Empowerment initially, which is a shorter, less time consuming course than the self belief masterclasses. But sometimes they get to the end of Mum's Empowerment and they're like, "Oh, I want to carry on working. I've done so well reducing the overwhelm, but actually now I want to build up my confidence." Maybe they are new mums and they're going back to work, and they really want to build that self-belief and confidence in returning to work. So potentially then they would then move on to the self-belief masterclass and working with me like that as well. So yeah, and it's wonderful to see the different transformations within people. And similarly with hypnobirthing, once they've had the baby, they can leave it, 6 months or a year, and then they move into mum's empowerment. There's so many different ways of working with the same person, and benefiting them and being able to do that self-development journey with them.
It is fantastic that you're able to reach people online and at their own time. It's so much. I just don't know. I can't remember if I would ever have had time to go to see somebody, go to
Mm,
their office to see them, to sit down and then switch on. I have to start thinking about what my issues are rather
mm.
than the flexibility of a video where you can play it right. I'm ready to listen to this.
Exactly. Yeah, being able to do it in their own time, and as I say, fitting it in those tiny pockets of time that people have, whether it is just standing there on your own making the dinner. If it's 5-10 minutes, it's like, oh, I have actually got time. I could just listen or watch that video because I know it's only under 5 minutes. And yeah, it's making sure, I think, you can make things as easy and accessible for people as possible. And that seems to then be, breeding successful results.
And what about your own preparation for the course? That's the person receiving
Mm.
your information. But how do you kind of sift through the information? How do you think this is going to be great video? And what preparation do you do for yourself before you start?
I think the vast majority of it is just drawing on my own experiences as a very, very independent woman up until sort of 35. And I had my little boy when I was 35. So, it could be deemed just a slightly older mum. And I had my little girl at 40. So I think drawing on my own experiences of what life was like as a very independent woman, and then how much it can really change by having kids. And I think for me, I didn't really realize the full impact that it would have on your life. And it's being able to reach out to other women and say, actually, I know how you feel. I didn't have all of this stuff that I could tap into, so I'm going to try and do it for you, and give you the tips and give you the, the self-hypnosis. Obviously, that's what I specialize in, to be able to help you, regain the confidence and regain the identity, and trying to balance the dual identity of still being you, but also being mum as well. And that was probably one of the main things that I struggled with. So it's really all of the content that, I come up with and talk about is very much based around the experiences that I've gone through. And I think that's why it's then more relatable. I talk on a very conversational sort of, level with people, certainly not preaching anything. So yeah, I think for me also, it's just thinking back to what it was like and stepping into the shoes of the people that I'm trying to talk to. I don't know, I think preparation, it's more just getting into that sort of zone and that mindset of what it was like and what it is like now, because obviously I'm still talking to people with kids of my age kids as well. And it's banding together and being that support and united front, really. I don't know what other preparation I do, really. I think for me, the last maybe 2 years has been a massive learning curve in my own self-development, my own confidence and self-belief building. And obviously that's always reiterated when then I'm helping other people, because all of those positive messages that I'm giving to everybody else are still going in my own mind as well. So it's, sometimes I forget actually how powerful it is, because then I wake up and be like, oh, I'm doing a live today. I don't feel anything about it. I'll go on and say what I need to say. And yeah.
I mean, this is one of the things I talk about in the course, is that confidence builds confidence. And one thing that I learned was, I mean, it's sort of, everyone's saying it now, I know, fake it until you can do it. But I sort of also see that sort of preparation is stop thinking about yourself, think about who you're talking to. And I think that's really important in all communication, is really think about your audience. It's not about what I like. It's not about my favorite color. It's about my audience, how they're going to respond to it, and visualizing the audience and kind of thinking about the audience really, really helps.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
I've got a couple of questions. And Rob, I was going to leave TikTok to the younger generation, but perhaps I'm missing out. What do you think?
Potentially. I mean, yeah, TikTok seems to be, I keep hearing, not that I'm the TikTok guru at all, but I do keep hearing that it's now the place to be. And the thing is, so many people are on it and so many people are mindlessly scrolling. But I mean, I think it's capturing people within that first kind of 10, 15 seconds. So whether it's what you're talking about, whether it's what you've written up on the, on with the content writing. I mean, I'm not, I can't say I'm a marketing guru on things like that, but just give it a try. It's not going to hurt, is it? Just don't let it take up too much time. I certainly don't, and that's why, I get the videos recorded, upload them, 7 minutes and that's it. Yeah. And I think it's like what we were saying about building your confidence. It's really, forgetting what people think, just not worrying about what people think. Do it for them, do it for who you're trying to reach, but do it for yourself as well.
Yeah, actually that's so true. Yeah, definitely. And that's where this sort of feeling of self-growth and empowerment really comes through it, definitely. I got a cheeky one from Bill Belly. Please don't do demo on hypnotizing, I'm driving.
Yes, never ever listen to a guided hypnotherapy when driving or operating heavy machinery.
But isn't it great that, we've got somebody who shouldn't be doing it, but is not at home watching our live?
Exactly. Yeah. It's so flexible. This is what makes it amazing and, so reachable for everybody.
Yeah. So I've got people asking how to reach you, and I'm going to put this up. So you can connect with Amanda on Instagram, Amanda Cole Hypnotherapy, TikTok, Amanda Cole Hypnotherapy, and website Amanda Cole Hypnotherapy. And I think it's a brilliant example of getting your handles right and across the whole brand. So well done.
Yeah, otherwise, so it had to all be the same. Otherwise, I wouldn't remember what they all were.
Brilliant. So let's just ask my last question. Do you have any tips to boost self-esteem and confidence when you're making those videos for Instagram and TikTok?
Mhm,
And tips how to connect with people in Zoom sessions. So
mhm.
during that Zoom session, how do you make that connection?
Yeah. I think tips to boost self-esteem and confidence when you're making videos for Instagram or whatever social media channel. There's kind of short-term things you can do and then long-term things. So short-term things just to help with your own confidence, just make notes. I know it's really practical, but I've got a couple of notes here just in case I started waffling on and went totally off track. So make notes, definitely. That I do it for every single live, even if they're just bullet points. To help increase your confidence, I don't know whether you've heard of this, Jola, but power poses before you go and do a live, or if you're particularly frightened about recording a video. So you can call it the Peter Pan pose. So it's legs hip width apart, hands on hips, shoulders up, chest out, and just stand there for like 2 minutes, breathing in and out. And it does work. The power pose, it does honestly work. And, it's great for short term if then you're going to jump on a live, because it just lowers all your stress levels, calms you down, and gives you that confidence straight away. So I definitely recommend that. I do it now and again. And then beforehand, have the conversation that if you're not using your notes, or even if it's like this, doing a live where we're having more of a conversation and it's not kind of like, pre-recorded, then have the conversation in your head beforehand and visualize it. Visualize what you're going to say. Visualize it going well. And the power of positive expectation will do wonders for your confidence levels. Because if you're going in with the positive expectations that it's all going to go well, there's not going to be any tech issues, everybody's going to receive it really well, then you're automatically going to be more confident just going in with that mindset. So yeah, definitely short terms, and accept that it doesn't have to be perfect. My videos are never perfect. I had a coughing fit on a live once where I was ill. I've made mistakes in pre-recorded videos and then thought, oh God, now I've got to edit it out. But actually I've started not editing it out, because you don't have to be perfect. You're more relatable to somebody, aren't you, if you come across as being human, and you can make those mistakes, or you can, my child has come in every now and again when I've been on a live and I'm just a bit like, oh, hello. But it's life, and it's a very good reflection of mum life as well. So yeah, definitely short term, those sort of things. And then long term, I'd say developing the technique. So maybe like anchoring, if anybody's heard of that, is really, really effective. And it can help if you're feeling anxious or nervous, and it's just associating a positive thought within a physical action. It will take too long to go into it now, but if anybody's interested, I can send you on some details. But things like that can help long term and really reduce nervousness and anxiety and stress around being visible. And obviously hypnotherapy. Having hypnotherapy, to be able to build your confidence, build your self-belief with being seen. And for women especially, it seems to be a lot around their appearance and what people are going to think of them. With men, it's less that, more so around their knowledge, around what they're talking about. Whereas, women are always worried about going on screen because of what people think and what they look like. And, hypnotherapy can really help reframe all those negative thoughts, and we can replace them with more positive. So yeah, I think that would be my tips.
I like the reframing, because that was actually something I learned about. I didn't even know the word a couple of years ago, and it's so true. It's so powerful, reframing something, thinking of something in a different way. I could never be a, and then I could be a. I could be that. I could do that.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing for me. Was I'd spent over 30 years behind the camera and making people feel confident, getting people to have really powerful performances on screen. People who'd never been in a TV commercial, just models, making them look relaxed and happy and unself-conscious. And I couldn't do it for myself. And it was that process of reframing that really, really helped me, because And also, it doesn't have to be perfect. I totally agree with you on that one. It doesn't have to be perfect. Things go wrong. Working TV commercials, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be absolutely perfect to the milli frame, a frame, which is 25th of a second. And if it's not correct, you've got to correct it. So just being able to accept that it's okay means you can do more stuff, and then the more stuff you do, the better you'll get, and suddenly you are professional.
Yeah.
So in the sort of convoluted madness of being insecure and not being enough self-esteem to do stuff.
Yeah,
So it's just wonderful. I mean, I was so pleased when I came across you and your work, and it's a really powerful work that you do. And one of the good things that have come out of lockdown.
Yes, this is the thing. I think prior to lockdown, everybody was a little bit skeptical about doing any sort of therapy, whether it's, hypnotherapy, counseling, coaching, online. But yeah, the pandemic changed all of that and kind of forced everybody into having to do so much more stuff online and, on screen. So yeah, in a weird way, thanks.
Yeah. So I would just like to ask you, I know you've got your masterclass coming up, you're launching that.
Yeah.
But what are your plans, your video plans for 2023? Just looking at now, you didn't know I was going to ask you this, so take a moment to remember. So it's kind of looking ahead. Are you going to continue with video? Is it going to do more of it?
Yeah, I think realistically, more of it, more working online. I feel like, especially with the online courses, I can reach more people, help more people by being able to do those group programs. And yeah, the self-belief masterclasses will run twice a year, so March and September. And then Mum's Empowerment will be running literally all through the year, and then have monthly live touch points with me during the program and beyond. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing that. And obviously the one-to-one hypnotherapy, one-to-one hypnobirthing as well works just as well. I love working with my expectant mums and their birth partners, and being able to work. I'm obviously in Worthing in the southeast, but being able to work with somebody in Liverpool or Scotland, or it's amazing, and being able to make that difference for them. So definitely I'll be doing more of it, more TikTok, more Instagram. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. Well, I'm going to be seeing you on Instagram and TikTok a lot. I keep connecting. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching us today. Do subscribe to this channel. Like it, subscribe, and tell people about amazing work that Amanda does with people. So thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you. Pleasure.